right now into their listening devices, wondering why we have not introduced our guest.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all of it. All the things.
From fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, this is Pod Therapy. Real people, real problems, and real therapists. You can submit your questions anonymously at podtherapy.net or email us at podtherapyguys@gmail.com. Thank you to our therapy partner, Dirty B.
Dirty B!
And now broadcasting from the churn, that guy is Dr. Jim Jobin. That's Whitney. I'm Nick. It's time for some Pod Therapy.
Man, I tell you what. Are we doing King of the Hill bit? You guys don't want King of the Hill?
I do, but we're not going to do that.
Did you ever have an accent?
No, I still don't.
Iowans.
Yeah, where's Nick's accent? Let's shift this.
He's from like a farmland, Iowa.
You know what?
I feel like they would have.
It's got like a Minnesota accent.
How does corn talk?
A little bit. Yeah. There's a little. I don't know. I've been told I do have a little bit.
Yeah,
but I don't.
By sex crazed patients in the rehabs.
Let's keep that. That's
just
Patreon.
Detecting an accent.
That's Patreon content.
That's
Patreon.
Oh, the Little Rock Airport is the Bill and Hillary Clinton Airport.
That's it. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Arkansas was pretty. I was there in the summer. It was
the natural
humid.
state.
Arkansas is nice. Arkansas is lovely.
Beautiful.
Going from like big city Dallas down to like is what's that place called? Arkadelphia.
Arkadelphia.
Is it big?
Same size as Dallas.
I kind of feel like you're making that up.
Arkadelphia.
Guess you'll ever find out.
That's how I feel about places like Texarkana and like bullshit like that. And it's like, shut up. That's not a thing. Like you just don't be a douche. Like it's obviously like somebody was like, what are we gonna call this place? Looking between two different places. It's dumb. That's really stupid. And there's a lot of cities like that.
I think it only has like 600 people or something. I want to look up.
Really?
I want to look up the. Yeah, I'm gonna look up the population.
You need to. I'm wondering what the population of
How
my
many-
old town was.
How many people?
What is the population of Waxahachie, Texas?
No, I got it. Yes, talk. Why are you all on your computers?
43,000.
Yeah,
Holy
Waxahachie
shit.
is huge.
Dude, what? I was there in 1990.
You were a child. You don't remember.
It was like 19,000. That's a lot.
Way to use his own words against
people.
him.
That is way more people than I thought there was. So you were in Dallas, though. That'd be big. But Arkadelphia.
Oh, I lied. Arkadelphia had more. It was Caddo Valley next to it that had a few hundred. So Arkadelphia has 10,000 people now.
Big
but
city.
that's as of 2021. I wonder what it was a long time ago when I was there in school.
Damn, that is not very many people. How do you
All right,
even
so
have a school?
on the Arkadelphia, on arkadelphia.gov,
Oh, good.
that has a departments tab that you can pull down. When you pull down that departments tab, you have administration. Makes a lot of sense. You might need to speak to the city administrator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second one is airport.
Okay.
Fine, getting in and out, travel. That's very
There's
important.
an airport in a town of 10,000
apparently,
people?
apparently.
Shut up.
The
They're flying
third
kites, buddy.
The
That's
third department,
Yeah.
pest control.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's
Animal control, excuse
easily.
me. Not a great sign for old Arkadelphia.
What was
But
the-
that's number
what
3
was
on
the
their own
pest and
website.
spider situation? You guys snakes? You guys have snakes? in
Oh,
Arkadelphia?
definitely. I remember floating the river, and you'd be floating by, and there'd be snakes sunbathing on the side.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about this whole floating river.
Oh, it's so fun. It's my favorite.
It
thing
is
to do.
relaxing. I did it in Florida. I did the like springs.
No, you gotta do. Is it like natural?
Well,
or...
it's a spring.
Okay.
I assume
It's not like a
water's
tourist,
natural.
or is it like?
This is a great time to actually have this conversation. Pronounce the word T-O-U-R.
Tourist?
Say no. Just T-O-U-R.
Tour?
Fuck you, Whitney.
Thank you, Whitney.
Right in the.
Thank you,
fucking
Whitney.
neck.
What do you say? Tour?
Shut up. Just shut up.
I'm just happy.
I
Whitney
think that she's more on. Jacob's side than anything.
I don't even
I
know
can't
how I
help
say
it
it
that
now.
I say
Hold
it
on,
right.
before everybody shut up. Whitney, do it one more time.
Tour?
I think she's
Tour.
with Jacob. Yeah, she's with Jacob.
I think I say tour.
Jacob's always
Tour.
been in between us.
I say tour.
You are an idiot. You say tutor. Like you.
No, I do not. I
you're-
say tour.
Do you hear it? You hear it, right?
Croissant.
I have nothing else to say. I don't even need to make fun of you. It's dumb. I say tour. Like tour.
All right.
Tour.
Yeah.
Okay, pal.
I just like, I bet Whitney and I, because I didn't hear Whitney
No,
say
you
this
guys
word
are
earlier,
really close on this.
but I bet Whitney and I pronounce the O in OBU very similarly, if not the same.
OBU.
You mean for the word that
Yeah.
it stands for? Washita?
Washita.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Only if you're from the South.
OUACHITA.
Yeah, OUACHITA. is
Pronounced
how it's spelled.
Washita.
Yeah.
I grew up in Ouachita Parish, Louisiana,
Oh,
Well, that's my point. Hold on. Let's not.
which is like counties to the rest
All
of
right,
the country.
Nick, we're gonna have to start
Yes.
working together on this. Okay, we
I
can.
know.
We're being divided.
It pains me, but like, yeah, I think we're gonna have to team up. Here.
Yeah, when you would just divide the fucking country, Dallas and Louisiana,
The South.
these sons of bitches, and people in the world are gonna get the wrong idea about how words work. And
I gotta tell you right
that's
now,
how it's done.
The Southerners, we are charming motherfuckers.
You are very charming.
We have listeners who have written in and said they listen to help them learn English.
Oh,
so we got to
So
get
don't
this
listen
right.
to Jim.
Yeah, this is true. Shout out to the group of Bulgarian students that are actually working very hard right now to set up an interview with Nick and I to talk about mental health in America.
Yeah, we got that coming up in
Wow.
April.
We do have that coming up in
That's
April.
awesome.
And
Is
it'll
that gonna
be
go up on the
available
Patreon?
at patreon.com/therapy. Thank you,
Yes.
Jacob. Where all the other goodies are,
Tee that shit up.
including Nick's most recent bit. Every Monday we drop new content. I loved your deep dive into the ASAM addiction treatment criteria.
Well, that makes 3 of you.
Yeah, no, you're underselling it. It was very good. It was very good. And it's funny because you went on the Discord and you're like, oh, nobody would ever want to hear this. And like all the hands went up. And everyone's like, actually, I would very much like to hear about like the intricacies of how you place patients in addiction treatment. Like, how do you know what to do? What are you looking for?
You ask a guy named Sam.
It was an excellent deep dive. Excellent deep dive. A lot
Well,
of really good
thank
stuff up there
you.
right now.
Yeah,
I liked it.
It was probably the best one I've ever done because I didn't have to prepare for it.
Oh, okay. You just riffed.
Yeah,
And it
I
was-
could
you
just turn
crushed
on
it.
a recorder and just start talking. 'Cause
Yeah.
Did you just have have a guitar in your lap and just noodling?
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
noodling a little bit, just talking about
Ding,
ASAM.
ding, 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 ding. Let me
With
tell you
banjo
about
on my rocking
criteria
chair.
one.
Yeah.
Bro, I really
Yeah.
want a rocking chair though. Like, have you ever gone to like Cracker Barrel and they have like those like cool like porch
Fuck yeah.
patio rocking chairs?
I'm not gonna
Oh, we
lie, I
have-
want one too.
I know,
Yeah.
right? They're
We have 2
great.
rocking chairs on our front porch. We got one on the back porch.
Did you know you
Love
can buy
it.
rocking chairs from Cracker Barrel?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty cool. My
I
mom
didn't
has
know
one.
that.
I believe the 2 rocking chairs on our front porch are from Cracker
Cracker
Barrel.
Barrel. Yeah. I wanted some. from
Actually, I know
Walmart.
they are because we had a friend whose son was one of the managers there, and he got them at a steep discount.
Ooh,
Ooh, they're
sounds like
expensive.
somebody's
we had
got
an
the
in.
Cracker Barrel hookup.
Yeah.
Not anymore. He doesn't work there anymore.
Oh no! You lost your Cracker Barrel pull.
Yep.
Ah,
This is
dude,
years
that's a
ago.
tough one. But you got to get those. But yeah, patreon.com/therapy. Every Monday, guys, we drop new stuff. There's the ASAM breakdown, which talks about how we diagnose addictions and figure out where to put people. There's an interview with me at CityCast Las Vegas talking about Nevada mental health legislation.
Now with both pieces of audio.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I've decided to add both sides of the conversation for funsies.
He posted it the first time. It was just him.
Everybody's like, is Tim on a phone call? What is this? Professional. Nick does a great review of 28 Days, the movie with Sandra Bullock. I have an interview with Dr. Monique Quiros, a sex worker therapist. Really great interview. We have a deep dive on
A therapist who deals with sex workers.
Yes,
Correct.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Thank you for
works.
clarifying.
But,
Yep.
you know, I'm not here to judge.
No, I'm not
everybody's got a
judging,
side
I'm
hustle.
clarifying.
Sometimes I drive for Uber.
Yep.
Sometimes I have sex for money. Like,
Yep.
I mean, just, you know, you do
I'm
what
just
you gotta
clarifying.
Do, pay the bills. But lots of fun stuff up there.
I'm just wondering. I'm deciding whether or not I'm going to listen to it. Is what I'm doing.
Nick has a deep dive on mental game prep, like how to get the psychology for your mental
yeah.
game.
By the way,
Yeah.
we had golf tournament number 2
You
of
have
the
another
season
golf tournament?
this past weekend. Yes. And I took 5th
Wow. Out of how many?
in my division.
There's a bottle opener over there.
I think 20.
Okay.
Not bad.
So
So top 25%.
Yeah.
I did that math in my head, Whitney.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if
That's
I'm
about where
Very
I'm at with the March Madness thing.
God.
For
I
those
am
wondering,
so ready for this. I hate this. Like I don't understand.
bro,
Like,
the losing
I do-
tradition is so strong.
I
Like,
do my research. I think about this.
That's the problem.
That's
I don't-
obviously your problem.
I don't half-ass it. I actually sit here and I think about it.
Yes.
And I put all this work
And
into
you
it.
got defeated by a coin flip. Like,
I did.
glorious. So
But I
what's
said-
funny is I bet the chalk. Every year I do not like
You just
try-
bet the favorite.
Kansas?
I always bet the chalk. I just go with who's predicted to win. That's it. I want free sushi. I'm not here to impress anybody. I want to eat for free. Jacob threw caution into the wind, and he just said, "You know what? Today's the day we find out." And I believe,
What's the thing is I don't only want free sushi. I want to have something to crow about.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. It's not enough.
And just picking the chalk You can't crow about picking the
I
chalk.
believe that Jacob's game philosophy is that it's not enough that he succeed; others must fail. Like it has to feel like
yeah.
a beat.
That's how he sleeps at night.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
how he gets through. So I believe you also have to adopt a religion.
No, I think that was only if I actually won the whole thing.
Shut up, Jacob Jesus!
Yeah.
I was working it, man.
Yeah.
But there was a minute where you
I
were
was wondering
in
this
first place.
too. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was in
Jacob
first place.
was in first place for like 2 glorious hours.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, I was
Like
sending
in the
Nick
first
pamphlets.
round, I was suddenly in first place. It's like, all right then.
I was
Yeah.
sending him books on Rastafarianism.
Which I am kind of curious about.
I mean, honestly,
I really do
you
kind of
go a
want to
lot
know
worse
what
than
that's about.
Rastafarianism.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
So when are we doing this?
The sushi? Oh,
Yeah.
ASAP. Yeah, I want that.
Yeah. Maybe
all
next
day.
week.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Oh darn!
I am out of town.
Oh, what a shame.
We'll get whenever you're back in town, we'll get a reservation at Nobu.
Oh my
Oh
god.
get it set up.
yeah, yeah. I want the sushi place where the naked lady lays on the table. I want that one.
I want close to that. I want a big hairy naked dude though.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. Thank you. You know
Yeah.
what? I don't care who it is.
I want when
But
I
do
pick up
expect nudity.
when
and
I
want
pick
it to
up
be
that
very
nigiri,
expensive.
I want body hair to be stuck in the rice.
Well, that's the only way it is.
God.
Yeah.
That's the way it's best.
And I
served.
want it fresh.
That's gonna cost
I want
extra.
fresh body
the
hair.
body. I was like, the body hair of the sushi.
Yep. Obviously, I mean the
I want
body hair.
short and curlies right in my tempura.
I want like
Oh,
belly hair.
It's gonna be a good night.
Yeah.
I want to say this is your third loss
Yes,
consecutively.
I believe so.
I think
What?
it
No. I wouldn't think it's consecutive. I think I lost last year. I think the time before that you lost because you didn't even take us out to
Yeah,
eat.
you lost and brought us gift
You
cards.
brought us gift
that was
cards.
a long time ago.
No, because I lost
Or
the
was
first
it during?
one.
I think it was during COVID.
I
think it
lost
was
the first one.
Yeah, no,
Then
the
you
first
lost the
COVID was
second.
canceled because that was bumper sticker March Madness.
Right.
Yeah.
So probably I lost in 19, and then you probably lost in 21 and 22 and 23.
Yeah, so I think you got 3 consecutive.
Also,
Really?
you don't know
Maybe.
this,
Because
Jacob.
20 didn't happen.
Nick and I have worked together since, I don't know, 2014. We have played March Madness every year since I've known him. I
Yeah.
can't remember a time you've beaten me.
I
You've
beat you-
always had to buy.
I beat you once.
There was one year I
think.
didn't play because my daughter was in the hospital.
We
And
just
I wanna
talked
say
about
it's the only time
we
you haven't
did
had
just
to buy
talk
me
about the
food.
time that he beat you within the last 4 years.
I feel like you're trying to make points.
Yeah. What the-
He beat you
Thank
four
you, Jimmy.
tournaments ago.
Patreon.com/therapy. Support the show. And I'm talking to you, Therapals. There's a bunch of you Therapals that are missing out on all this extra content. You already like the show. Your card's on file. Put $4 more in the hat a month and get 4 more pieces of content.
No, that's all great. I mean, you're not wrong about that.
Thank you.
The reason you actually need to go to patreon.com/therapy and sign up is then you can have a voice and
Yes.
demand that Nick start doing material while noodling on a guitar.
There's that. Oh, we should totally do an episode where we just do that. Can we just plug in
I think,
guitars?
like-
Do you have the
yeah,
equipment
like,
for that?
Sure.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I want a straw hat.
Oh, of course.
With a little
I have
long-
one in my car.
Long piece of
I
grass.
don't want you
And the
plug-
rocking chair.
I don't want you plugged in though.
Can we
I just
get
want you with
rocking chair?
acoustics and the microphone's just picking it
Just
up
picking
acoustically.
it up in the ambient.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we could do that. Do you have a banjo?
I don't.
So Whitney,
I've
we have
thought
a
about-
band.
The American instrument,
Do
the
you
banjo.
play anything and or sing?
I
Doesn't have to be good.
No.
How about kazoo?
I could probably learn. You know, that's an easy one, right? Kazoo.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, if we jammed a kazoo
Plays
on
a
this
solid
I do
cowbell.
what's
Yeah.
the tambourine?
Yeah, you
That's-
got a
Yeah.
tambourine.
Seems
That'd
fair.
be fine. Well, Jacob's doing the
Cowbell.
triangle.
Bongos.
Oh no.
Bongos.
Yeah,
Bongos,
any of
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I know those.
I think what I'm hearing you say is you're a percussive person. You're
I think
a
so. That's
Stick to
where I
the-
thrive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
harmonies,
I'm gonna
right?
shine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
mhm.
yeah. This is
So our band is Collective Daddy and the Seafood Sugar Cookies.
wrong. Damn it! You do this every time.
I like that band name. I
It's
think that's-
Seafood Sugar Cookie and the Collective Daddies. And actually, I think it's just called Collective Daddy.
No,
That's
I
you
don't
can't
like,
pluralize both.
I don't like that by itself. It's just not.
I think Nick's right.
It's Seafood Sugar Cookie, and we agreed the alternate ego band is called Collective Daddy. That's our funk soul.
Oh.
Album.
Okay, funk
But
soul.
yeah, Seafood Sugar Cookie is more like acoustic pop covers.
I don't know if the two of you can form a soul band, but on the other hand, I'm positive that the two of you cannot form a soul band.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
just like, what?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, Dan
Yeah.
Aykroyd has some thoughts on your argument
Yeah.
here. I think he has a few, and so does John Belushi.
And we have learned a total of 0 songs.
Thank you for this. Yeah,
When was this start?
this was coming.
This
yeah.
this started like 2 years ago we started.
It
talking
started
about doing
because
this.
Jacob told a story about creating a false sugar cookie covered in mustard to ruin somebody's
the
Christmas
band
party.
name, yeah.
And then we were like, he's like, haha. And we were like, oh, what other terrible sugar cookies can you make? We're like, seafood sugar cookie. And then simultaneously, like, that's a band name.
Yep.
Seafood
so-
sugar. It does roll off the tongue.
Look, everybody makes fun of us because like they're never going to do the band. We talked about this podcast for about 3 years before it happened.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
And all it ever was like, we should do a podcast. We're doing a podcast. We go get lunch and never do it. And so this like band thing has been hovering around the deal here for a while.
For longer than that.
Well,
I
Nick-
got out my guitar.
Yeah, I was like,
tonight.
Nick got his guitar out.
Sharpen
so-
it up.
My fingers, yeah, they kind of hurt. Not gonna
Okay.
lie, because
All right,
I've
good.
not played in a long
I
time.
need you ready because when it
Oh,
happens,
yeah.
it's going to happen fast.
Okay.
There'll be
Well,
no prep.
Okay.
I don't feel like
Go.
that's true.
I'm just going to book a gig and we're just going to go.
Oh, that I
Right.
can see happening.
Yeah, what 100? That's if that ever happens. That's the only way the band ever
That's
happens.
true.
Yeah.
Is I just spontaneously book a gig in front of a live audience and we do it. We should have played the Bucket Show.
Yeah.
Who said you would have
No.
gotten booked?
Yeah. I don't think.
I think if we just show up,
I don't think we're ready for big audiences like that. I
Yeah.
don't think we could.
well, we could have played
Like-
outside the Bucket Show.
No, I think yeah.
Yeah.
Street performers. Street performers.
Yeah,
I'm fine doing
oh,
that.
you want to do that? Okay, yeah. You know what? Yes, I'm all in. Let's do buskers. I think if
Okay.
we just go in with like street performance in front of a library, open guitar case, take pennies and quarters. That's the win.
I'm wondering to myself, not if, but how long it would take Jim to cry
Oh,
as a busking outdoor performer.
are they mean to you?
Yes.
I don't want to do it then. I thought they were nice.
Think about how many people are walking up and down Fremont Street
But
and how
they're
many of them are
drunk.
jerks.
There's a lot of jerks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it turns out when you invite them to be jerks to you, they just say okay,
Not inviting, I'm singing for their joy.
thus inviting them to be jerks.
The trick is you got to pick the song selection, man. You got to pick songs that are winners, that are hits, things everybody wants to hear. I'm talking about American Pie and
Anything from Flight of the Conchords.
everything from Flight of the Conchords. Yeah.
Business
I'll
time.
be the
Business time is
racist
my
man. Business time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's business
It's
time.
time.
Business. I love it. I know it's business time because it's Wednesday.
Yeah. She's, and then you take out the recycling. That's not part of it, but it's
But
still
it's still
really
very
important.
We sort through recycling. I try to take off my pants and they get stuck on my socks. I turn into a sexy dance. Oh, the show's brought to you
All
by
right.
Flight of the Conchords. Oh, yeah,
Let's
we
read
should
a
do
question.
therapy shit. Okay. Depressive crashes from Anonymous. Hello, this is a long letter, and I hope that I'm communicating clearly the experience that I would like some insight on. I'm writing in about something I'm experiencing right now, and have experienced a little bit in the past. Sometimes I struggle with depression, which mainly manifests itself with a sad or flat affect, low energy, and overwhelming desire to stay in bed for long stretches, or doing my least favorite, most difficult chores without asking for help or letting myself do something I enjoy. I have difficulty explaining that last symptom, but I promise meticulously scrubbing the bathtub probably means I'm depressed. It happens about every other month for about a day or two, and then it goes away. What I wanted to get some insight on today is sometimes I experience these depressive episodes when I should be excited, happy, or enjoying myself. I have two examples that are very similar. Last year, I got a week off for Christmas and ended up not using that week to do obligatory visits to family as I had planned. Instead, I got to do a staycation with my wife, doing all my favorite things and activities. It was mostly great, but the first day, and maybe the second day, I had one of these depressive episodes where I crashed, laid in bed for long stretches, and then came back up. I'm going through this right now, too. I'm currently packing to go on a real vacation after a very stressful period at work. Yesterday, I had a tough day at work, but I had good spirits the whole day, but as soon as I got home, I crashed. I felt depressed the whole evening, which manifested as feeling very acutely sad, and then doing a couple of chores without asking for help, and woke up today feeling pretty down too, which meant I had trouble getting out of bed and feeling very unmotivated to get my day started. As I write this email, I feel like I'm coming out of it, and maybe writing it has been helping me feel better. Although I also wonder if writing this email is a delaying tactic to avoid getting to the things I need to do today. This happens occasionally on random weekends, when I should be waking up and figuring out how to have fun with my day too. I have some thoughts about this, but I'm not sure what is the correct thing that's happening or what to do about it. Sometimes I wonder if I feel overwhelmed by the choice of things that I can do in my free time, and that leads me into a spiral of indecision that makes me default to don't do anything and being depressed about not doing anything. Maybe I feel overwhelmed by the responsibilities I have that day, and that makes me default to being depressed. Sometimes I wonder if in these moments I feel devoid of any immediate purpose other than doing my 80 years of being a human and punching out, and that makes me depressed. Other times I wonder if it's a nutritional sleep thing and my body's just physically tired. But in the most recent example, I'm pretty sure I was eating well and I recently got a good health report at an annual physical. Maybe it's all these things, or none of them. Why am I like this? Why are people like this? Who decided people need to feel randomly sad at inappropriate times?
Jesus.
Thanks for reading my letter,
Yep.
Matt. Jesus, take the ball.
I mean, I'm really interested to hear your guys' take on this, because you're probably better equipped to address this question than I am. But to me, this just sounds like this is a good description of what depression is as far as a diagnosis. It's random. It doesn't seem to come from any place. Because if it was coming from someplace, then you wouldn't necessarily make a diagnosis of depression, right? Because then there's a source, right? Something sad happens, I feel bad about it. That's what we would expect.
Oh yeah, like
But
a situation.
okay.
A relative died, and I'm sad.
Yeah, that's grief, right? There you go. So just this idea of like, there's no particular reason, there's no real cause. I just feel depressed and it's debilitating. That's kind of what major depressive disorder is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, Whitney, how it's like sporadic in this case.
Yeah, I was trying to look at how often they said it was happening, and it sounds like every other month.
Yeah, the pattern is curious, right?
I was very curious about the pattern,
Yeah.
like what else was going on,
Right.
you know, what's bringing that up.
Writer, I really like how you're doing a great job thinking about all the things that could be affecting it. Because you're saying, hey, like, I'm thinking about my nutrition. I'm thinking about my sleep.
Yeah,
I'm
medical's
noticing-
always the first thing you
Go
want to
there,
look at.
right?
Mhm.
Always go there. Like, check for that kind of stuff. That's really useful. But I definitely relate to the writer. Like, I know that whenever I've been kind of in my season, I tend to get like seasonal depression. For those of you playing Jim's Neurotic Bingo at home, seasonal depression, stamp it. Seasonal affective disorder. It's on there.
Sad.
I get that sad. Boom, baby. Jim's a sad boy. But spring's coming. Soon I'll be happy again. But I know for me, like when that happens, when I'm in that season, I'm just like vulnerable to it. And that will totally happen where I'm like, I'm just going through my day. And I've experienced that where it's like this sudden emotional drop.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was totally cool. Like 5 minutes ago, I'll be like, oh, what are we going to have for dinner? And then all of a sudden I'm just like, nothing matters. I don't care. And then I just go lay in bed and listen to AFI for like an hour.
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
I have no idea what
Fire
AFI
and
is.
such. Shut up. God,
What?
you guys are so old.
I don't know. what
Whitney
that
gets
is.
it. She's young and hip.
AFI.
Damn it, Whitney.
No, I'm sorry.
All of you.
I've already talked about Led Zeppelin this evening. I am obviously young and hip.
I think you know what? I apologize.
I've got my finger on the pulse of America.
These kids are there ticky-tacky.
I've talked about Zeppelin and the Eagles already this evening.
Did anybody else find it interesting that the writer referenced having an affect, like a flat affect? I was like, oh, what you?
I
Somebody
thought, are
knows
they
some
clinical?
words.
Yeah. I was like, have they been to therapy? And they didn't mention if they've gone to any kind of therapy.
Yeah, that's an interesting one too. I mean, like, writer, if you're not already talking to a therapist, I mean, obviously, I think that's a good idea in this case.
What do you think about being evaluated for medication?
I mean, got a lot
That
of,
ran across my mind too.
yeah.
I don't know. I think I would wonder like what coping skills they've done first. Usually you try therapy and some of the, I'm going to say basic quotes, basic coping skills first, and then seek out maybe a medication exploration. But
So you don't include medication when you say always look to medical first. You don't include doing a screening for medication in that?
oh, good question.
I don't know.
No, that's a good
I'm
question.
genuinely
Yeah,
asking a
I
question.
wouldn't have thought of that.
This is not a gotcha question.
No,
this
no.
is me being curious.
That makes
trap.
No, I didn't. But no, that's a good question. No, actually, I normally wouldn't. It'd be more just like physical, like Like, do you have a brain tumor that's making you,
Great.
do stuff instead of bipolar disorder?
Also,
like
anxious
that.
people, she did not mean that you have a brain tumor. Continue.
You don't, I promise.
Seasonal
Also,
affective
we do not
disorder
back
is
up that
only
promise.
caused by brain tumors.
Nor the promise.
But I think that's a good point in that, like, you want to start bringing professionals into this
Yeah.
equation and start being assessed. So talking to your primary care.
Yeah.
Now, your primary care most likely is probably going to say like, okay, well, let's put you on an antidepressant.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I don't know. Would you go with a therapist first?
Before an antidepressant, I don't mind somebody starting something like an SSRI just because it's so ubiquitous. It's not going to matter, and like, fine, do it for 6
Yeah.
months. And if we already know that you're unhappy, then there's not going to be a negative recourse to that.
Yeah.
And I think primaries are perfectly fine. Have you ever been so depressed that you've done hardcore chores? That stood out to me. I was like, oh, what? You're like cleaning the bathtub?
Did it make you think almost of like a unique form of self-harm? I mean, not trying to go
Interesting. Like
but
an alternate?
yeah,
Yeah.
like if you don't like doing them, at least if you like doing chores,
like
then
this
it wouldn't be.
punishment
But
kind of
yeah,
thing?
it's like I deserve.
It's
this.
like
Oh, I-
grit your teeth.
Oh no, because
do it.
I'll do this to some degree. I'll do work around the house,
Yeah.
but I think I do it in the same way that Nick works out
It feels
when
fulfilling.
he's
Sexually?
when he's yes
In the
Sorry,
news.
I
As-
was very distracted.
bottomless Winnie the Pooh style.
Yeah, yeah. With wool socks
Yeah.
up to his knees.
With only wearing wool socks and a vest.
Mental fit personal training.
Oh, thank you. I haven't
.com.
plugged that in a while.
Yeah,
But
I got you.
Great spot
This
for
is
that.
where you wanted
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Trust me.
But yeah, like I'll go work on something. I'll like if I have a project that I'm working on around the house or something like that. I will drag my unhappy ass out of my comfortable chair
Yeah.
or something like that, or out of bed or whatever it is, and go work on that for a while.
Whenever
And
I
then
was
does
a
that
kid,
make you feel better, like you've accomplished something, or is it just busy work, just keeping you occupied?
It doesn't make me feel like I've accomplished something, but it does make me feel it clicks. It can click my motor over.
Okay.
That's what
Oh,
it can
okay,
do.
okay.
So it's not even necessarily making me feel better. It gets
Right.
me kind of like it jumps me back into the right lane a little bit.
like refocus.
and by right
Yes.
lane, I just mean like
Oh, I see what you're
more
saying.
standard living.
Yes. Okay. I see what you're saying.
I did
Yeah.
the
Makes
same
sense.
thing as a kid when my foot would fall asleep. I'd kick it against things and like try to intentionally stub my toe because it can't hurt right now.
Oh my gosh.
That's
That is
essentially
the
this.
stupidest thing I've ever
No,
heard.
it totally works, man. Like if your legs are like completely asleep, I'd be like, "Oh shit, it's awesome! I'm immune." It's like I kick it against things.
That
It
is
was great.
the dumbest thing you've said
No,
in
no,
the
no.
last 5
This is
minutes.
Let me
the
tell
same
you
thing
this.
he's saying.
Let me
I do
tell you
the
this.
same thing.
This is
You're so depressed that you're like, "Fuck it, everything. I may as well just do chores
all
because
right.
I'm miserable anyway."
If you are not already on patreon.com/therapy, and I know this just seems like one plug after another for that, but
Today's
if you are
the
not
day.
on patreon.com/therapy, you don't even realize that is the second dumbest thing Jim has said on this episode.
Wow. I'm upset that all of you don't see the logic. I mean, it's really sad that you're missing it.
Yeah.
It is. I'm just surprised your mind went there.
No, it's the same thing. I get the logic because it's like, oh, I'm so depressed. My day sucks anyway. I may as well do everything. Like do your taxes, like clean everything, clean the
I
gutters.
don't do like punishment work.
Yeah, man, you may as well. You're miserable. May as well just be miserable. You're going to be depressed anyway. May as well have a clean house. That's the thing. That's see? Yeah. See, I'm winning the
No, no,
room.
no.
I feel like I'm
No,
winning the
I-
room. The
no.
wheel's
I just-
moving in my
I
direction.
think we all just kind of tuned you out. I was actually thinking about what Jacob was talking about.
We're saying the
Because
same
I was
thing.
thinking about like when I do housework, when I do chores and stuff.
No, 'cause it's not stuff that I hate doing.
Yeah.
Well, so the writer says that they do their most difficult chores without asking for help or letting myself do something I enjoy.
Okay, I
So
think that's it.
it implies
The
to me
not
that
asking for help part,
Yes. That
like, oh, here's a 2-person job. I'm going to go do it by myself. Then I might pull my back out a little bit. I'm not going to feel good from this tonight, but that pain is replacing.
Oh, and that's a good point too. Like
Yeah.
your emotional pain becomes like physical.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
You can feel
Oh.
it.
Yeah.
See, I can kind of relate to that because I do this a lot where I will intentionally, like what Jacob said, like, oh, this is a 2-person job. I'm going to do it all myself. Almost kind of like I feel sorry for myself type thing.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
poor
I
me.
just, yeah.
Oh, I do that absolutely. Anytime I'm
Really?
depressed.
No, you?
Oh, poor me chores?
Like, go on.
Oh, all day.
Oh, see, I won't do it.
all day.
If I'm doing one of those jobs when I'm in this funk, I won't ask for help, but not because of poor me, because I don't want to be around anyone.
Oh.
Oh, it's
I'll
like
just
the
like
isolation.
refuse to ask for help because that would mean I'd have to be around somebody
Oh,
else.
that's where you and I are different.
Yeah.
I do the work all by myself, and I make sure everybody knows I did it by myself.
Oh, I might still make sure about that later, but at the time, I just genuinely don't want to be around anyone.
Yeah, I start texting everybody in the family, letting them know what I did. Like I'll just text my son and be like, "I folded all your clothes and put them away." He's like, Thanks.
I also
Dad.
went grocery shopping.
I also made you your lunch for tomorrow.
I fed
Yeah.
you.
And I put money in your college fund.
I paid the water.
Yeah.
bill.
Yeah, by the way, I knocked out that water bill.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, that's Jim's.
Hey, you know your bed?
cycle.
Just a reminder, I paid for that.
I just in case you were wondering, I
Yeah.
bought that with my money.
That went on a credit card that I had to pay off.
I'm still paying it off.
So anyway, Matt,
Oh yeah, Matt's here.
I would, I definitely, if you're not already talking to a therapist, I know this seems like the easy way out for us to answer this question.
Well, yeah,
but
'cause
it is.
you're not happy. I mean, you're
Yeah.
noticing these depressive spirals. I mean, we're not going to diagnose you. I know you didn't write in for that. We're definitely not doing that. But I think we're all agreeing that it's very relatable. You talk about
Yeah.
like, is
Oh, yeah.
this something a lot of, yes, why are people like this? I think it's very relatable. Everyone in this room kind of like a little bit relates to it.
Yeah.
And like clearly you're doing a lot of good coping. I like the awareness. I really like the writer saying, look, I've already thought about a lot of this. And even that hypothesis of like, there's a little bit of anhedonia in here of like, oh, I don't do the things that I'd like to do.
Yeah.
And so I just do something else. Like, who cares? But then like that interesting split of sometimes then I feel like I didn't do anything because I feel depressed. This happens a lot. And then they feel guilty and shame over like, oh, I wasted my day. I'm unproductive. I'm worthless.
Yes.
I'm contributing nothing. That's a shitty spiral, which
Yeah.
is like, I really like the hate cleaning. I think that that's like the right way to go.
Yeah.
Hate cleaning.
Yeah. Good
Yeah, I
hate
hope it
cleaning.
doesn't seem like a cop out to be like, go see a therapist. But it's more like since
We're just
you've
trying to
already
create
done
jobs.
so much work into like trying to take out things you've thought of, they would just help you hone in on what is helping or not.
And you're already doing so much work
Yeah.
anyway. Like
Yeah.
you're doing all this kind of work, in and of yourself. Like, go ahead and get a little help.
Yeah. I like
I
that.
mean, you're not going to take much more time than you're already taking on it, if
Start
any.
a house cleaning company, honestly. I mean, if you're just going to be sad, you may as well make some money.
There is
Yeah.
that.
Depression can be very lucrative if you just know how to direct that hate energy into cleaning grout.
Yeah.
You could make a lot of money. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back,
Oh.
we're talking about the dread of returning home, I think.
Yeah. I just got to pull up that piece because I forgot to have that document
Ding,
ready.
ding, ticka,
By
ticka,
the way-
ding, ticka. Oh, go ahead.
By the way, Whitney is a therapist. That's
Oh.
the only introduction you're getting. All right.
Aw,
moving
that
on.
ruins everything.
I just like giving it.
Would have been more fun if they had no clue.
Whitney's running the sound.
Today's episode is brought to you by Smitty Scoop, Nathan's Hot Dog Scoop, Mason Miller, Tess Miller, Dirty B, Viler T, Paris, Team Monaco, and Oscar Swanrose. All right.
Swanrose.
Swan. What?
There's only one R. It's Swan Rose.
All right.
Isn't that what he said?
No.
Yeah, I thought that's what I said.
How did he say it?
Swan Rose.
Swanrose.
Don't act
All right.
like now you get it right.
All right. All right. Here's our trivia that we didn't.
It's like
get to.
roasting a swan.
Is this astrophysics?
No, this is we got that one coming up next time. This is
good.
the rest of Myra's that we didn't get to last time.
Great.
Because Jacob was tired.
Is this the alcohol around the world one?
Yeah.
He was so miserable.
Yeah, he was.
I wasn't even tired. I was pre-tired.
Yeah, that's right. I was tired for the next day.
Yeah.
I felt like I could relate to him so hard there.
Oh, yeah.
Once I'm tired, it's over.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
I'm out.
All right.
I was tired and had no hope.
I just lost
I had
it.
abandoned all hope.
This country has the highest per capita beer drinking rate, with residents drinking an average of 181.7 liters, or 48 U.S. gallons, per year.
Damn.
In comparison,
Whoa.
Germans drink
Shit. That was my
I know,
guess.
that was my go-to.
Germans drink 92.5 liters, or 24.4 U.S. gallons.
Okay.
And the Irish drink 81 liters,
Wow,
or
he's taking 'em off the
21.4
board.
U.S.
Yeah.
gallons.
I like how we're measuring this in German drunkenness.
Yeah.
That is the metric.
That's-
that was
So,
clearly
We
the
will
metric.
continue to not use the metric system here in the USA.
Whatever it
We
takes.
will refer to it as 1-point-something Germans.
How drunk are you? About 4 Irishmen or 2 Germans. Copy. I know exactly
All right.
where you're at.
Choices are Poland,
Oh, shit.
the United States,
Mm-hmm.
Czechia, or Czech Republic,
Mm-hmm.
or Namibia.
Whoa.
Oh, my.
Jeez, these are all really
Poland,
plausible.
U.S., Czech Republic, Namibia.
All right, I'm going to jump early and snag
Is it
Poland.
Nambia? It's not Nambia.
I feel like Poland's got to be
Namibia.
there. Those people have been through a lot.
Yeah,
I just feel like they're drinking.
I'll take the Czechs.
Oh, I was going to guess Czech.
You can take the Czechs
All
too.
right,
You
I'm
can join me
guessing
on Czech
Czech.
Are we
Island.
both just going for World War II victims? Is that where we're at?
They
Some
have a
guys been
reason. They
beaten to
have a
shit.
reason.
It's got to be a good
I mean, I
reason.
was hoping that like Belgium would be on the list.
I was hoping
Some-
Australia or
I
Great
had some
Britain.
countries that I was hoping to hear on those options, and none of them were there.
I'm going to be honest. Namibia is a sleeper. Like that's.
I mean, I'm going Czechs
end
just
up
because
being
I
it.
know some Czechs, and
Okay.
all the
Right?
Czechs I know drink. They can put
Yeah.
away some beers.
Yeah.
They
Okay,
drink
so you're
hard.
saying Czech, you're saying
Yeah.
Czech, you're saying Poland.
I'm gonna go.
Jim's
I feel like
Poland. No,
Namibia's a
you're locked in on
sleeper.
I
Poland.
know. Namibia's going to be the trick.
I feel like that's gonna be the
This
one.
is
Like,
your anxiety.
obviously, it's Namibia. It's like what? They don't have water or something like that. They're like,
Oh,
they
yeah.
have to drink in order to live.
I'm going for the good old USA.
Oh.
I don't hate
Sticking
it.
to the
I don't hate it.
I think.
I don't think we drink that much.
I don't think. Yeah, as he finishes the Stella.
Hey, do you have any more?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a 6-pack, bud.
Okay.
I don't. God, America? You think so?
Yes, I think
We're-
so.
I
you
guess
think we're
compared to
putting-
everything you've listed, maybe.
You're putting Germans
Thank
and
you, sir.
Irish.
I'm only
under
not
the
going
table.
U.S. because there's a lot of population in
No,
the
it's
U.S.
you need the here. Whitney,
The-
give
Oh,
him
that's-
that
bottle
credit.
opener's
true.
right there. Yeah, there's a lot of population in the U.S. So as soon as you go per capita,
It's averages, right?
U.S. Well, that's the thing is
Is
all
it in
the
averages, or
all
is
the
it-
U.S. people who don't drink pull that average down, and there are a fuck ton of people in the
Highest
U.S.
per capita
lot
beer
of
drinking
Christians.
rate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Utah alone is diving us toward
Yeah.
the baseline.
Right.
We're losing so much edge on Utah.
I mean, the Southern Baptists.
That's what I
there
was
are,
gonna say.
there are a lot of Southern
I was
Baptists
like,
out there.
the Southern Baptists aren't teetotalers.
tell
How
me,
dare
Dallas.
you?
I believe I believe they're supposed to be.
Well, let me tell
All
you
the
something
ones I
about
know
religion.
are.
Yeah,
Let me teach
I
you a little
believe
something about
true
hypocrisy.
ones.
I believe the
true
church
ones.
says that they
The
are
good
that they are
Southern
teetotalers.
Baptists.
All right,
Yeah,
what is your choice?
I'm going Poland.
Okay.
and you're U.S.
Watch it be
I am.
Namibia.
No, it's Czech Republic.
Hey,
Damn.
Air high five.
There it is.
Czechs pull through.
the South rises again.
Wait a minute. Wait
We
a minute.
should do.
Oh, I got Whitney
We
to
should do.
spit. I got Whitney to spit her beer.
It's a real Confederate up
This
in
is
here.
this is the North versus South edition.
Yep.
Of,
Don't encourage it. No.
I got
this,
Whitney to
Jim.
spit her
No
beer.
portion
We
of this
got
podcast represents the Confederacy. This is the line we need to draw, bud.
We're winning.
This is not where we go.
All right, fine.
It's cute. No, it's not.
Jim, it's okay. I know from experience it doesn't end well for us.
How did Jim
reenactment.
become the voice of reason?
We gotta
on
win.
the show?
We gotta win something.
That's it.
This trivia of northern aggression shall not stand.
Oh, Jim doing a Southern accent. It's just, it's a lot.
Is spot
You know,
on.
you made a great point, and then you just did a complete 180.
He's over there carving Robert E. Lee out of butter. You can't have this shit. This is not good.
All right, next question.
Whitney's here one fucking day. We've already plunged into the Confederacy. It's not good. The dread of returning home from Anonymous. Hey guys, I've been listening to the show for a while, jumping through the backlog, and I've really enjoyed it. And I now have a question of my own. I'm a college student, and as of writing this, I'm staying with a friend for spring break. I go home in a few days, and the dread is overwhelming. I suffer from depression and anxiety anyway, but this is stronger than ever. I've known I've wanted to move out for a while, since my family generally ignores me, and I keep it that way so I don't get kicked out. I feel like such a black sheep, because rarely ever do they remember my preferences for things, and I can't live my truth, as they either don't believe or are completely against my beliefs. Our religious and political views do not align, and they won't accept any beliefs that aren't theirs, which is why I wanted to move out anyway. I don't feel loved, I feel trapped. Since I've been at my friend's, it feels great. She's annoying, but considerate. I feel at ease here because I don't have to constantly filter myself. I can just be me, and it's amazing. I know that moving away from your problems isn't typically recommended, but I feel like it's the right move. I still have this semester and fall semester of college left, and I want to get my degree, but I don't know how I'm going to stand going back home. Last year when I got back, it was miserable. I didn't want to do anything or go anywhere. So I suppose I'm asking, what advice do you guys have to make it to cope with the depression and dread of returning home? Also, how do I get my family to accept me moving out? I've never been on my own, and they want me to stay. Any advice would be welcome. Thank you guys for making such a wonderful show, Anonymous. Did you guys go back home during college spring breaks and summer breaks?
I did my freshman and part of my sophomore year. Halfway through my sophomore year, me and some buddies got a house. So we were
Okay.
renting a house. So.
Oh, then you just like lived on
then I just
campus
lived-
or in
yeah.
the
We
town.
lived in town. Yeah.
Is it far away from your hometown?
It was about 2.5 hours away.
Okay, yeah. And so going home during the breaks.
Yeah.
Did you dread it?
No.
You're fine with it?
Yeah, I was fine with it. I mean, but like, I don't know, when I went home, it was I think the weirdest part was the first summer. Cause like I had lived away for,
Then
you know,
try
2
to-
semesters
Yeah.
and then I go home and then it's like,
Little Nicky's home.
yeah, but then
Yeah.
it's almost like, it's weird because like, you know, like they're like, okay, well, your curfew is
Whoa.
like,
Two steps
what's-
forward, one step back.
Yeah, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
like
That
did-
is strange.
if you knew the shit I didn't,
Yeah.
like when I was gone, like,
I'm not going to bed at 9 o'clock. I used to stay up till 9:30 in the college town.
Yeah.
You don't know.
no, but it didn't really bother me that much. But I mean, one thing that kind of sticks out with me here with this is the thing that you said, I don't feel loved. So I don't know if there's more to it than just this, than what you wrote, but like, you know, your family, you disagree with like on religious and political views. I would just be careful that if that's all we're talking about, that doesn't necessarily mean your family doesn't love you. So that's just the one little caveat I want to kind
Yeah,
of throw in
definitely
there.
make sure that you right size
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of benefits to going out on your own and being independent. You're in college and, you know, developing that independence is very important for development. Also today, these days, so is saving money. So
Yeah.
you gotta weigh that too.
I would love just a small tangent. I would love for this
pronounced
country
tangent,
to
but
get
go on.
away. He's not that small though. He's
That's
a
true.
reasonable
Good
sized
point.
human being.
I
Well, thank
retract
you,
my
Jacob.
comment.
That's
Reasonable sized tangent.
Mhm.
But no, I would love for this country to get away from politics and religion being such big fucking talking points
Everybody's gotta
all the
discuss it.
goddamn time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanksgivings have been ruined for a long
Like
time.
I was
Yeah.
at a wedding last week, a week or two ago.
Mazel tov.
In Baton Rouge. I was at my cousin's wedding in Baton Rouge, one of my favorite cousins. We love each other dearly, and we can talk about anything. We've grown up together. She's older than I am, but you know we grew up together. We're close enough in age, and you know we were always close at all the family functions and all. Politically, we agree on nothing. Not a thing. We are opposite sides of the spectrum politically, and we can talk about it. We have small conversations about it here and there, but I feel like we talk about it the right amount, which is not much.
Yeah.
Because fuck, my life doesn't revolve around, you know, some jackass senator and what they
Right.
said, or like yeah, that senator in your state over there, like that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. That woman is an idiot, but like, big fucking whoop.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about this, and we're gonna have a wedding, and we're gonna have a nice time.
I've never regretted not talking about politics.
Yeah.
No.
I remember like, oh, you know what would have made that so much better.
Well, and when you're talking about like what a senator said or something, usually if you go and look up context,
Sure.
it's not even right. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh, you've based this whole
Yeah, you're also
opinion.
wrong about the whole thing, and yeah.
It's just,
it's
Did
not
you
worth
go
it.
home during college from Arkadelphia?
it's only 4 hours from Dallas.
So yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go back during spring breaks and summers.
Yeah, spring break and summer. Summer I worked at a camp in New Braunfels, Texas for 2 summers. So
Okay.
went and did that. But
Yeah, but then when you finally do go home, there is that difference of like, okay, I was a kid when I left here, but now I'm not. So
kind of. I didn't really have a lot of rules at my house, so it wasn't a
Ooh.
big deal to go back. When you mentioned the curfew, I'm like,
Yep.
curfew? I don't think I had one.
Welcome
when I was
home.
in
Beers are in the
high-
fridge.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, like if I went and slept at my mom's house in college, if I went back and slept at her house, that meant I was sleeping on a sofa. Because like the room I had a bed in and everything, like that was completely, the bed was gone,
okay.
everything was
they
Wow.
just
cleared
like
out.
did something new with it.
Yeah.
What'd they do?
Oh, it became like a sitting room. It had a sofa in it that pulled
Did they,
out.
they didn't have like a. Oh, okay. So you slept on the
Yeah,
sofa.
it was a
Okay.
pull-out sofa, but yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever seen that movie Failure to Launch with Matthew
Oh my
McConaughey?
gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, he finally moves out of the house. His dad is Terry Bradshaw, and he converts his room to a naked room, and it's just a room filled with sunlight that Terry Bradshaw is nude in.
Hell yeah.
And so he's like, "Dad, where's my bed?" He's like, "My naked room."
You know which room with my house is my naked room, Jim? All of them.
All the rooms.
All the rooms.
I remember first break of freshman year, Christmas break. So my roommate was Eddie, who you've met a bunch of times, and like we were just such good buddies, and like we lived like in different parts of Vegas, but we were both locals, and then we were living at UNLV. So, everything
weird.
was very local.
Yeah.
Oh, did you
So
say
you
weird
went
or
to
where?
you went or I thought you went to Liberty or something.
I did. That was grad school. So
Oh,
like
grad school, okay.
freshman and sophomore year I went to UNLV.
Okay.
Then I transferred out.
Okay.
But like, yeah, living in the dorms, and then he went back to his family's house, and then he just called me. He's like, "Hey, do you want to just move into my family's house for Christmas break?" And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds pretty cool." So I went and lived at his house for like a week.
Huh.
And then I just went back to my house because my mom got mad. She's like, "You haven't even come home for Christmas. Why do you hate us?" I was
Yeah.
like, I don't. I just really like my buddy. I'm like, "Are you like hanging out with him?" She's like, "No, just shut up. Come home."
You
So I thought it was
guys,
cool.
you guys were apart for 24 hours.
Yeah,
and
no, it
missed
was
each
very
other?
codependent. It was very codependent. We didn't go to classes because we missed each other. Like, it was like, "Oh, you go to class. Well, you want to come with me?" Like, "Yeah, I'll just come with you." Like, "What about your class?" "I'll just ditch my class." Like, it's fine. I don't need a degree. So,
This
yeah.
is one of the weirdest things I've ever heard.
I know.
This episode just keeps getting
This
weirder
is
and
really,
weirder.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think we could take another left turn.
No,
and
no,
holy
no.
shit, we took another left turn.
Yeah. So I had a
we're
really hard
dangerously
time.
close to making the block here.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a really
That's
hard
3
time
left
going
turns already.
on making the block. That's a great way to describe it. So where the writer says, "Look, how do I talk my family into this?" Writer, this is an interesting pinch point because at this stage in one's life, a lot of times your family has a lot of financial leverage on you.
Yeah.
Like they're still paying the bills, your phone bill, your car stuff. They're helping you go to college. So a lot of times they can say, "Look, we disagree. We don't want you to live on your own." Even if you say, "Well, I'm going to get a job and to hell with your rules, I'm going to go live on my own." You can do that, but it's going to be this confrontational coming of age conversation that like maybe a lot of people have had to do, but
Yeah.
I don't know if there's
And
an
maybe
easy
it's
way
going
to
to make
do
your
it.
life tougher.
It might.
Well, I wonder what the parents' objection is.
To living on their own?
I was wondering that too because they said they were worried about getting kicked out of
Yeah.
their house first, and then they didn't want
Right.
them to leave. So I had some thoughts, but it's totally assumptive. So I'm just
Go
not
for
gonna-
it.
Hasn't ever stopped us.
Well, I didn't know if it was based on some of the religious stuff that they
Oh, that could be
alluded
part of it,
to,
too.
Could be.
like
Yeah.
just going out on your own's
Yeah.
not seen as I don't know.
I mean, the thing that we've gone back to many times is you can't change other people. You can only
Yep.
deal with yourself.
Yeah.
And so, like, if they're not accepting it, you can either choose to accept them how they are, which they are in whatever state they are in. So you can either choose to accept it and live with them and continue life, or you can choose to not accept them and
Yeah.
potentially blow it up.
But yeah, and I agree, and I think there's kind of that, depending on what the riff is.
Mhm.
I mean, getting out and being on your own can be an amazing thing for you. Like if you're living at home and whatever your lifestyle is, if maybe you're gay or trans or something like that, and they just disagree
Democratic.
with you, or Democrat, yeah,
Sure.
and they just don't like that about you, putting some distance can be very healthy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
And then-
thinking that too.
Yeah, and then
Mhm.
so you can kind of discover yourself and figure out who you are and all that. And as long as you don't, as long as you can financially take care of yourself and you're not, putting yourself in a terrible, financial situation like going into deep debt or anything like that, that can be very healthy for you to get out
Yeah.
and just kind of put some distance, and it can help actually repair a relationship too.
Yes. Oh,
Distance
God.
can be
A lot of
wonderful.
relationships get better when you stop living together.
Yeah.
That's definitely true. But writer, you also asked this question of like, how would I cope if, I can't get around this? Look, my piece of advice on this is treat these family members as if they are just roommates. Like, mentally partition them into, I don't need to win a battle with you. I just have to live with you.
Yeah.
And like, you're going to have that in life. You're going to have roommates that are just diametrically opposed to you. You are not besties. You would not go to the same events, but they pay their half of the rent. They're not crazy. They're reliable and they have a good credit score. And like, that's enough. And you're just like, okay, like I can just give you your space. This is my space. Can we cohabitate and can we follow the rules of what our space is and treat each other with respect? And if that's all that you're setting as your standard, then you don't necessarily feel this pressure to like crusade against their politics or their religious
Yeah.
views, or if they're imposing upon you, you start to like be kind of Teflon about it. Like they're coming to you like, oh, yeah, the other day I was reading in the Word of the Lord, which I left next to the toilet in case you want to read one as well. It's like, thanks. Like, and you
Yeah.
just,
Oh yeah, I
Kinda
tore a
just
couple
roll.
pages out. So
yeah,
we were out of toilet paper.
we are out of Charmin, by the
It
way.
was,
Yeah, Leviticus.
I felt very disrespectful.
Yeah,
but
very absorbent.
it was the book of jobs.
Yeah,
and I was
there
doing
you
a
go.
job.
I was doing the
I was
job.
doing a big job.
So yeah, you just roll with it. I think you roll the punches on that and just go, whatever. You're just roommates, and it's like living with somebody from another culture.
Oh, I should have gone Book of John. Because you're in the John. Oh, I missed the golden
It was
one
a
there.
layup. It was a
Yeah.
layup.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
That's right.
John, that's what I meant.
Just remember, whenever you're constipated, you're stuck there, you just remember Philippians, this too shall pass. Okay? The word of the Lord from Pod Therapy.
I hope that was helpful.
We're doing really good with a couple of Southern Baptist educated people over here. And I feel like he's the one making the Bible jokes, not us. So what are you going to do?
Well, it's been hammered out of you.
That's true. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about giving gifts to therapists. So this will be fun. You're listening to Pod Therapy.
Expensive ones.
Today's episode
I
is
We
brought to you
demand they
by
be expensive.
Smitty Scoop, Nathan's Hot Dog Scoop, Mason Miller, Tess Miller, Dirty B, Byler T, Paris, Team Monaco, and Oscar Swan Roast.
There you go. It's fine.
Been saying it that way
No,
the whole time.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Thank you, Jacob.
The listeners know.
All right. The world's best-selling whiskey is India's McDowell's #1.
Really?
The world's best-selling Canadian whiskey.
If it's the best-selling thing in India, it's the world's best-selling thing, whatever the thing is.
That's true. Just by sheer
Oh,
numbers.
you
know
Yeah,
what?
good point.
Yeah.
Point. Solid. The world's best-selling Canadian whiskey is Crown Royal.
That
The
feels
world's best-selling Irish whiskey is Jameson. The world's best
I was
Scotch
hoping you were going to stop there at 3.
is Johnny Walker.
Whoa.
What is the world's best-selling bourbon?
I knew that was going to be the question.
Jack Daniels, Maker's Mark, Wild Turkey, Jim Beam.
Shit.
Okay, Jacob's going last
Yep.
for
Yeah,
obvious reasons.
easily. He's
I just
going
know it.
last.
Oh.
I am 95% sure in my
I
answer.
feel like you're gonna end up. It's got to be like Jack or
Jack or
Wild
Jim.
Turkey.
Oh,
you're going Jim?
Jack or
So
Jim.
I was thinking,
I don't know.
I was
that's
thinking
probably
Jack or
solid.
Jim also.
I feel like Wild Turkey's super popular. Here's why.
I guess
Wild
it depends
Turkey
on
gets
what's
referenced
cheaper.
in Christmas Vacation.
Solid. Go
yeah,
with that.
Yeah. Randy Quaid's daughter's is in rehab, getting cured
Cured
from the
from
wild turkey.
You know how old I was when I finally got that
me
joke?
too.
Like,
You thought his daughter would just been attacked by a wild
Yes.
I
turkey?
had no
Yeah.
idea. I just never caught the reference.
I
I,
didn't
just thought it
either.
was passive dialogue. I never
Yeah,
knew there was a joke in there.
yeah.
You get cured off the wild turkey, and then one day I saw it in a like a store. I was like, wild turkey. Like the light bulb came on. I was like, that's the joke. All right, I'm going wild turkey in reference to Randy Quaid's bit. So
Fair enough.
pay
I
homage.
feel like you're probably right now, but I'm going to go with Jack.
It is a solid.
Okay.
bet.
Then I'll go with
Jack
Jim.
Feels like a solid
Okay.
bet. Thanks, buddy. So
I'm
you're
going to go with Jim
me.
Beam
Jim.
with a bullet. And I'm going to tell you, Jack Daniels is not a bourbon.
Okay.
Jack Daniels is a Tennessee mash whiskey.
Yeah.
It is not a bourbon.
Ooh.
Well, it was in my list.
It got
so.
tricked. It got onto that list, I believe,
Yeah.
through chicanery,
Yeah.
illegitimacy.
Wow.
It's illegitimate.
Yep.
Wow.
The Southern Baptists would not
Oh, here
approve.
Well,
Here
then
we
I know
go.
I didn't win. So
Yeah.
it might
Jack
not-
Daniels might outsell Jim Beam, but it's not a bourbon.
Is that northern trickery they try to throw at you?
I'm not sure if it does or not, but
We're on to you, Myra.
yeah,
It is Jim Beam. Of
Yeah.
course it is.
Oh.
Of course
it's
it is.
Jim Beam.
Jim.
Solid. It's Wild Turkey. I bet Wild Turkey is the least popular selling brand on that list of 4.
Because isn't it
How
isn't it
dare
kind of
you.
like just a cheap?
Yeah, what's the cheapest?
Hey, Wild
Turkey?
Turkey. I like Wild Turkey.
Oh, really?
I'm not disparaging Wild Turkey. I'm just saying I bet it doesn't
Sponsor
sell
the
as
show,
well
Wild Turkey.
as the other 3.
We'll take your bet.
Because Jack and Jim are the big 2. Those
Yeah.
are the 2 like big Mount Everest.
Yeah.
But Jack's
American
not even a
whiskeys.
bourbon.
Maker's Mark is a real popular bourbon. That's a real high selling bourbon. And then Wild Turkey is very popular. I mean, it's popular enough that we've all heard of it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I've heard of
But it's
bourbon.
not a. I don't think it sells as well. It might beat out Maker's Mark. It might be number 3 in sales on the list, but it's number 3
Have
at
you
best.
ever had an Indian anything? Whiskey anything?
Oh sure,
You have?
yeah. I have a
Oh.
couple.
Oh.
I have a couple at the house. Yeah,
Wow.
I don't have many. I don't know much about Indian whiskeys at all.
We should do an around the world.
Oh,
whiskey
I
tasting.
I would
that's-
love.
yeah, that
if
would be
you
a lot of
if
fun.
any listeners out there, this is me, asking for something definitely, but I'm also
Just send
genuinely
it in.
curious. If you have any Indian whiskeys, if you know about Indian whiskey and have an Indian whiskey that I need to try or that you would like to send me, I would love to try some good Indian whiskey.
There we go.
Is there a Chinese whiskey?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm getting
Do you
that
have any?
whiskey's not like restricted.
I don't think I have any Chinese whiskey. No.
Okay.
I have some really good Japanese whiskey.
All right. Well, can you pick some up before Jim and I come over?
Yeah,
We're just going to invite ourselves
On it.
over.
Just do a little bar crawl. Just
Yeah.
Don't worry. We have a key.
yeah,
fine.
Yeah.
Don't ask how we got
It's not to your house.
I mean, I'm not home much this week anyway, so you go ahead.
It's fine. We'll have to try that. All right.
I'm going down to Austin, Texas this week for Founders Day with
that's
with
right.
the fellas from Great Night and everybody down there. Yeah,
That'll be fun.
we're doing that this week.
Oh, that'll be a good time.
be
Well,
a
you'll
blast.
definitely get some whiskey down there.
I bet I will.
I'm sure you will. So, speaking about Jacob soliciting gifts to the show, giving gifts to therapists. Aloha, everyone. That means hello in Hawaiian.
No.
Sorry.
Oh, thanks.
I'm multilingual. I don't like to brag about it.
You're
Hope you're all
clearly not.
well. Unfortunately for Jacob and Jacob fans alike, he probably won't be able to help on this question. Not to say he won't pitch in. As per
Damn right.
usual. My question is regarding gifts to therapists. However, this is regarding a past therapist. I'm going through medical underwriting right now, and my prior therapist had records requested from him, standard procedure, on our past therapist-patient work. He's a one-man shop who does amazing work and is a great example of all the extra work psychologists do outside of those 45-minute sessions. When he got the records request, he reached out to me to verify the authenticity and even offered to take out irrelevant information from what they were asking for to protect my privacy, since this is through a company I work for. Going above and beyond, especially since I haven't been a client in almost 2 years. Also acknowledging all the extra work this causes when going through records and files. Because of all this extra work and my appreciation as a prior patient, I wanted to get him a small gift. This would be under $50 and just mailed to his office. I know there's a pricing and ethical question with patients giving gifts to therapists, but I can't find regulations or standard practices for that matter on gift giving after a client relationship has been terminated. What would be the best way to go about this? Would it be better to send the gift sans card so that it's just an anonymous appreciation? Would it be would it be fine to send a small note with, say, some local coffee? Just wanting to say, stay within my boundaries and still support all the hard work you sole proprietors do to go above and beyond. Thanks, Pickle, the literal kind.
All right, Whitney, I got to start with you.
That's a good one.
What gifts over the years have you unethically accepted?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Go ahead and
Say it right into the
say
mic.
it right into the mic.
Yeah.
It was back in 2012. No, I'm just kidding.
It was the heart of a dying man. What?
Oh, man.
Briefcase full of cash.
I don't think I've had this issue too much. I worked in foster care with Nick. Worked in foster care for a while. Those kids don't have a lot of give. They don't have $50 gift cards laying around. So
That's why you just got to take from them.
yeah, I got a lot.
This shoe's mine, baby.
A lot of drawings. Lots of
Oh,
drawings.
sure.
Those are good.
Which then I felt weird about because
It is unethical to accept drawings.
oh, okay. Well, no, because I take them home and it's like if they sign
That
their
cannot
name.
be true.
It is not true.
I don't know, man. If
not,
they become
no.
really famous, it's like, oh, the
I
value of that
suppose
shit just
so.
went way up.
Yeah, it's just
That
like,
child became Pablo Picasso.
He left me an ear.
but no, they'd like sign their name on them, and so
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's just stuff like that. I was
Yeah.
always like,
In
I
private
don't know.
practice, you ever get Christmas cards?
Cards, yes.
Like family photos?
no family
I
photos.
get
You get
they-
family
Oh,
photos?
tons.
Oh,
People send me. So it's really funny because like listeners of the show will send me Christmas cards,
yeah.
which is awesome. Like they'll just send them my private practice. I
Oh, I
love
love
it. That's
that.
super cute.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, these guys, I see their dogs and stuff. Love you,
Yeah.
Andersons. You guys are great.
Oh, ICS, we get holiday cards every
Holiday
year.
cards.
I love it. So
It's
much.
always a
Aw,
fun time.
that's
but then when
cool.
patients send them, I always laugh because I'm like, I can't hang this up anywhere.
I know,
Like,
I can't
all
do
I'm doing
anything.
is violating HIPAA.
I know,
Here's
you're like,
their name and
"Thanks,
picture. Yeah.
just in the shredder immediately.
I have a little like drawer that I just keep them in, and I'm like,
Oh.
yay! And
But
then
do
and then
But
it sees
do you like
everyone.
getting them?
Yeah, I get a kick.
You
out
can't
of it.
display them, but I mean that's
Yeah.
fine. But I mean, you do enjoy.
It's a good time.
You like
yeah.
the thought.
I like the thought. It's,
Yeah,
it's still
okay.
cute, and I often do the same thing. Like for years, when I was physically in practice, I'd get the Christmas cards of the family, and then I'd give them to every patient or whatever, and just hey,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of you or whatever, and it was a nice little hey. But it's a good question of like how much value can you actually get?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, if they're asking for input, why do you feel like you have to give the $50? Like, is just a thank you card enough? Because
Oh, that's nice.
it sounds like what they're doing isn't, I mean, it is extra work for them, but it's not extra for what we've like signed up for, you know?
yeah, it's well within the boundaries
a good
of what we do.
Yeah, it's not like they're
And
totally
we can't say
done it.
no. It's not like we would say.
Right.
But honestly, though, there are some, because it's a sole proprietor, If it depends on what you ask me to do, I'm not above charging
Yeah.
an administrative fee because I'm
Yeah.
now going to stop seeing patients and process your files
Yeah.
from years ago.
That's fair.
I don't. There's no law in America that says a healthcare provider has to work for free.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see the argument that look, they're not
Not in
charging
America.
anything. Not in America.
Not
Not
in
in the
my
Northern
America.
America. Not in the Union, my man. Okay, we have very different rules on this one particular issue.
Again, we all moved on.
Yep.
That's your callback.
Nobody else brought that up. Now I'm gonna.
Finish the fight.
Nobody else brought that up.
Finish the fight, Nick. This is how they win: is you forget.
But yeah, out of memory, I mean, I think $50 was the limit, like, or ethically, but I would just say don't worry about sending any money if they didn't charge you for their time,
This
like
is-
Jim said.
This has
like,
got to be okay, though, right?
It's not that big of a deal
Because they're
it's
not-
going to be like I lose sleep over.
They're
it.
not
Yeah.
current patients.
Well, I mean,
Right.
Yeah,
if we're going to get nitty gritty about it, like the actual ethical code, you haven't seen this person for 2
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
The only thing you ethically cannot give them is sex. And honestly,
Yeah.
in most states, you can give them sex. It's been 2 years.
It
Really?
depends on the board.
I was
Yeah.
gonna- not
Honestly,
social
in
work.
Nevada,
Not
sex.
social
Not
work.
social work.
Social
Yeah.
work never.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
You guys are outlawed?
Yeah.
All right, so
Drug and
me,
alcohol,
we're
we can.
good. Air high five.
They
Air high
knew.
five.
They knew.
So, Ryder, to be clear, if
Life coach is down to bone. Yeah. I'll tell you that right now.
yeah, Ryder, if you're
I made
trying
Whitney
to,
spit him here again.
yeah, that's right.
Jacob's
Just
coming
keep
out the
throwing 'em
gate
out there.
with me.
Got him all day, all day.
Life coach
Oh.
Jacob over there.
You just so you know, in case you were wondering, very few ethical
That's on his
stipulations
card.
of a life coach.
Yeah, down to bone.
DTB.
I wish we would have known that. We could have put that on this.
Yeah.
Always down.
Too
to
bad.
bone.
All right.
Next round of
box.
cards.
The
Yeah.
next box we order. I actually have. I can slam dunk this.
All right, I'm gonna bounce it off the board. Go for it.
Okay. What if I told you, you can give something more valuable than $50,
Okay.
and it is
I thought we were gonna talk about
100% ethical.
Okay.
This person is in private practice. Leave a good review.
Oh yes.
That's the
Yep. That's
That
it.
is far more valuable than
that.
$50.
Do that.
Yes.
So if you feel like you owe your therapist something,
That's just the thank you.
find them on Yelp, find them
Nick
on
wins.
Google.
Find them everywhere.
Nick
Everywhere.
wins in the advice.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
That's
Like-
that's the answer.
Write a nice review for
That
them.
is the answer.
Copy
Yep.
it and paste it on everything that
Yep.
accepts a review that has
Yes.
that doctor's
There you
name
go.
on it.
Oh, that's
Yep.
that's easy. Oh, that's yes. That
Yeah.
is such.
It'll take you 15 minutes one day.
Especially
Yeah.
sole proprietor, like this is
Yep.
a little private practice, and they're
And
just
still,
good
and
at
then
their
send them a
job.
nice thank you card.
Yeah.
Send them a nice little thank you card,
Yep.
and leave a buttload of reviews.
Yeah.
Reviews mean everything.
Yeah.
Jim's in private practice.
it's
Whitney's in
everything.
private practice.
Yeah.
I've got mental fit personal training.
Yep.
The best thing anybody could ever do to thank me
Yes.
would be leave a good review.
Yeah.
I think
That's
it-
the best
By
thing.
the way, if you haven't left a
don't talk
review on
enough about
iTunes
that.
for this podcast
thank
lately,
you. That's
go ahead
very
and leave
good.
a review over
Yes.
on your podcast
That
app.
would be very helpful. We don't talk enough about that.
Yeah.
What a life-changing thing that is. If you like your therapist, leaving a review, I mean, it's about the nicest thing that you can feel as a therapist. It's the only way you can really receive a tangible compliment that you don't feel weird about or guilty for, or feel the need to like redirect for the patient's own good. You can just bask in it. And
Yeah.
like it really means so much to see something nice. And it really carries because like it for us, it's not just a compliment. You're telling your story. You're saying like, hey, I'm a human. I came to this person. They were helpful. It's giving encouragement to all these other people. It destigmatizes mental health. And it's a real thank you. That is a good thing.
Yeah.
I love that. Now let me tell you about the weirdest thing I ever got.
Yeah.
It was a bag of cats.
So if you want to hear about the time a patient wanted to jump Nick's bones, patreon.com/therapy. Because stern, no-nonsense Nick is apparently very seductive. You can check that out, patreon.com/therapy. I had a patient who we're sitting...
Let me tell you exactly what you're going to do
Oh,
right
is this
over
the Nick
there.
Tangeman impression? There it is.
It's me, Nick Tangeman.
With the
I will
1900s
not
Atlantic
accept
accent.
this behavior from you any longer.
Oh, yeah. Don't
Nay,
accept it. Don't accept
it is unacceptable.
I'm unacceptable, Daddy. I'm so sorry.
I am not accepting it.
Oh, God. I need therapy.
If you say one more word, I will take you over my knee.
Ooh.
I am Nick Tangeman.
Oh.
Go see how accurate that was.
That's basically what happened.
Oh,
that's
now I
word for
remember.
word. You remember her now? that was exactly the scene. And
And
scene.
see.
Yeah. So I had a patient once, just really good person, just chilling, they're doing the thing. We made some really great progress, great case. And they get to the end of the session's termination session, like, man, today I was sitting in a park and just, thinking and meditating on our work together. It's been so meaningful to me. I was like, that's great. And he's like, I was just sitting around and I was whittling. I, had a little stick and had my knife and I was whittling. And you know what, man, I'd like for you to take this knife.
Oh, you
told you that story.
this.
Yeah, it gave me like a nice, it was a really nice, high quality knife, but I didn't accept it. So I was like, this looks too nice for me to accept.
A whittled knife.
I can't. Yeah, it was
a knife made of wood.
No,
That's how I
it was a
envisioned it.
knife.
I thought you were saying
A knife with which he whittled.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
He was giving you the whittling knife,
Yes.
not what he had been whittling.
No.
I see.
I thought you were saying little in a
Yeah,
cute little
he had
accent.
the stick that. No, he
A
had
whittle.
That's not a knife.
a whittle knife. That's just a whittle knife, not a big.
No, literally
knife.
whittled.
Yeah, just a whittle knife. No,
It was
he
a
had
whittling knife.
So I ended up accepting the stick that he had whittled. So like he tried to give me the knife, and I was like, hey. A, it looks too nice, and B, I don't feel good about taking a weapon from a patient.
Fair.
So like, I'm not going to do that.
It seems like that's exactly what you should be doing, but
Yeah,
whatever floats your boat there, Jim.
Either way, I was probably win-win on that one. Ended up taking the stick on that one. We have had but this is something we've talked about on the show before, but I don't think Whitney's. You ever gotten like offers where they're like, "Hey, I have ringside seats to the Golden Knights. Can I give those to you?" Like, you get those offers? Oh, I get those all the time. And just very nice people that are like, hey, I'm a season ticket holder of the Raiders. I'm not going to make this game. Would you like to take your family?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I can't do that. And they're like, oh, weird, because my cardiologist will. And like my dentist will. They don't give a shit. And it's like, therapists have ethics.
Yeah.
And, like, apparently nobody else
No.
doesn't matter, because like treating your cavity, they can't possibly manipulate you into more gifts. But like me, I could. And
Yeah.
so
Jim Sound Guy could take those tickets, though.
life coaching, no rules. And anybody out there, you're thinking, man, I'm a patient of Jim's, and there's nothing I can do to give Jim something. A, review me, give me a nice review. Or B, give Jacob something. You know what? Because I mean, you could launder it through Jacob.
Yeah,
and,
laundering. I like that.
Jacob is not guaranteed to give me whatever you give him, but he might share it with me. I don't know.
It may be as far from guaranteed to get to Jim as possible.
That might be, that's actually, it's much more likely Nick's going to. If you give like Jacob Raiders tickets and be like, hey, I'm Jim's patient, I can't give these to Jim, so I'm giving them to you. He will take a selfie of him and SJ at that game.
Hell yeah, I will.
He won't even send that to me. He'll still send it to Nick. Nick might be like, hey, man, Jacob went to the Raiders.
Pod Therapy, 4262 Blue Diamond Road, Suite 102-318, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89139.
We should point out that the week you are hearing this is the week before Nick's birthday. Yay.
Oh, it is.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Nick's birthday's coming up, so send those Raider tickets over to
I'll
Nick.
be turning
Oh,
29.
you can send shit to the show. We take gifts. We're not your legal therapist.
Fuck
so
yeah.
You can send us whatever you want. In fact, this is the place to launder gifts. We're always receiving those gifts. If you want to give your therapist a gift and you're struggling because you're like, that might be unethical, we'll take it. Mm-hmm. Send that $50 gift our way.
Make a donation in their name.
To Pod Therapy.
Yeah.
Whoa! Erase the tape.
A Starbucks
Erase the
gift
tape.
card.
I want to go back.
In their name.
Let's finish this question all over again. Yeah, no, let's start again. Anyway, thanks, Pickle, the literal kind. Well,
a
you know what,
donation has
Ryder?
been made
Let me
in
tell
your
you what
name
you can do.
to the Human Fund.
No. Back to one. You make a donation to Pod Therapy in your therapist's name, and let them know that you've supported destigmatizing mental health by sending us gifts.
Your therapist will love you for
Your
it.
therapist will absolutely be happy.
Your
Honestly,
therapist will definitely care.
Look, Whitney, do you agree with this? If we all just get on board with like, look, Whitney can't accept the bribe, but I can. And you can accept my patient's bribes, and we just work this out.
Yeah, I mean, when they talked about just sending it anonymously, I was like,
Yeah.
you know.
Honestly,
I don't know.
that's a loophole. I cannot be held accountable, and you've made me happy.
Yes.
Like, we're good.
Yes.
If like Raiders season tickets show up anonymously,
Yeah.
That,
what are you going to do? You're not going to waste them.
I
No.
have had that happen once, where I was at a restaurant, and then a waiter came over and said something to the effect of, hey, a round for your table's been taken care of by a guest.
Oh.
And they just wanted to say, thank you, Dr. Jim. And
Oh.
that was it. And I was like, oh. And then I didn't like go hard looking around to figure out who it was. I think they did it on the way out or something like that.
Yeah.
And then nobody ever brought it up. I
They,
was never
they
in a
knew
session
you
where they're
couldn't
like,
take the gift.
Oh, yeah. It was
Yeah.
like, yep.
They
that
knew
was
the
it.
end around.
They were happy
That's
that I
kind
had
of
a nice
awesome.
drink. And
Yeah,
that was
that's
it.
sweet.
So, yep. So I think anonymously, but definitely just give it to Pod Therapy.
By
Yeah.
the way, that was me.
Wow. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah,
That
no
was
problem.
really nice of you.
Yeah.
You're such a classy dude.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Am I hearing now that Nick's paying for sushi for his birthday week?
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
Oh, let's
Yeah.
schedule it on his birthday. Let's do it on his birthday.
Let me just see what my calendar says over here.
It's Monday, right?
Sorry, Nick.
It's the 3rd, whatever that is.
I think it's
Is
on
that-
a
I
Monday.
think that's-
I have a reminder in my phone that goes off a week before your birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
so I
that's
can get a
we're
jump on
recording.
gifts.
We're recording on the 3rd.
Yep.
That is a week from
Oh,
today.
yeah.
We're recording on the 3rd.
Let's make him
So
buy
we
us
could
sushi.
just do sushi and then come record.
Let's fucking cancel the show
I'm
and
fine
just go
with
to
that.
sushi. We'll
I'm
record on
also fine
Tuesday.
with that.
Let's go back to back. That sounds like a great idea.
I'm just saying.
I'm so happy about this.
I could very easily Monday the 3rd. Oh no, shit. Maybe I can't.
You're gonna be in
Oh,
Austin.
shoot.
Darn.
Yeah.
Oh, darn it.
What are you gonna do?
I actually
So
might have a
close.
hard time doing the show that night. now that
Oh
I'm looking
shit,
at that.
we should probably figure
I don't
it out.
know.
Oh,
We'll
so
figure it
you're
all
coming
out.
back into town. All right.
Yeah,
anyway.
we'll figure it all out. It's fine.
So a literal pickle. Back to your question. Yeah, donate to the show. I think that's the best way to go. Or send it anonymously. But honestly, the true ethical answer to this, it's outside of 2 years. You can do whatever you want. It's not an issue. Like there is no ethical conflict for me if I am not actively treating you and it's been years. These become these unreasonable permanent structures that no profession on earth adheres to.
Yeah.
And I cannot think of a letter of the ethical code, of any ethical code that I've ever seen that would forbid this. So the cheap answer is do what you want. It doesn't matter. Now, and you clarified in your letter, this is not a current therapist. For those of you that do have a current therapist and you were thinking, oh, it's their birthday or like there's a holiday or just I'm thrilled with them, Nick's answer of a review is the correct answer, or Jacob's answer of sending your bribes to our mailbox is the other correct answer. Yeah. There are no other
Reviews, thank you card to the therapist, and contributions to us.
Actually, just
All right,
contributions
covers-
to us.
covers-
and we'll take
I
care of the
listed
other
those
stuff.
in the incorrect order.
We'll write a review. Yeah, send us a link to the person. We'll
That's
do
true.
the review.
You
Give
send me a
us the
nice
stuff.
bottle of Indian whiskey,
Yeah.
and like a Yelp link
Yeah,
to your
yeah.
therapist, and then
I'll
I'll
click
write
it.
the reviews.
Yeah, we'll write all sorts of stuff. Well, you'll get like 4 reviews out of it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll plug them. Like, if you send us good enough stuff, we'll plug them on the show.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get an army of people to review them. Send the whiskey though. That's a given. So.
Okay.
But yeah, the good answer, everybody. I think we really crushed that one. Yeah,
we
doing
did.
really
We
Good
did
job,
some good
everyone.
work tonight.
Everybody's doing really good. As we wrap up the show, I want to remind everybody that you can sign up at patreon.com/therapy. You get the extended show. You get it an ad-free version. You get it a day early. And you can also automatically get our live chat Discord community. If you're at the $5 and up level, you get our weekly deep dives, interviews, skill shares, research roundups, and rants. If you are a Therapal already, upgrade to Therapod. $4 more, 4 more episodes a month. You may as well. You get all that extra content. It's a lot of fun. So
And don't worry, you don't have to listen to the 4 extra episodes.
no, not at all. Nobody would ever ask you.
No,
to do
no.
that. That's a war crime. Yeah, that's in the Geneva Convention. So, no new supporters.
6
as
hour
of
take
now.
on
we do.
ADHD.
Oh, we do. Yeah,
it's
we
not
do.
on my list.
Yeah,
I just want to listen to Jim
We have a
talk
new
for 6
therapy
hours
producer.
about ADHD.
Oh, we do have a new therapist.
Really?
We do have a new
Exciting.
therapy producer. The only person I think I beat in March Madness.
Yeah, the guy who intentionally tried to
A
destroy his
small
bracket?
rock.
Slurpee Kaye, motherfucker.
About time.
All right.
About time, John. Okay, honestly, you're overdue. Thank
He's
you for supporting
he
the show.
has upgraded. He is our newest therapy producer. So
Yeah.
welcome
Exciting.
to the boardroom.
Slurpee, also the reigning champion of Pod Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Thus proving he is the greatest fan of the show.
Yeah.
This is why I say about time.
I mean, definitely knew more about the show than me.
Yes, easily crushed all of his
Easily.
opponents. Easily left them in the dust. And of course, we want to thank our long-standing partner, Dirty B, and our bosses, the mysterious and shrouded Illuminati members of the fan club, the Thera producers. Thank you, Jake Schneider, Robert Brownie Jr., Mint, Smitty Scoop, Ben Dawn, Judy Schneider, Kayla Lansbury, Doctor, and Mr. Hot Dog Scoop, Malia, Leon Kassab, Cindy Ash, Mason Miller, Richard Macy, Carolyn Albert, Kevin Chamberlain, Tess Miller, Newstick, Sammy Scoop, Ben Stanley slapping your face, Polygon, Sarah Smith, Adam Hathaway, Byler T, University Jeff, Mike Helm, Myra, thanks for the trivia, Paris, Samantha Cohn, Darren Cunningham, Lib, Team Monaco, Thunder, Cougar, Falcon, Scoop, Matt and Lisa Tangeman, Heyo, Oscar, Swanrose.
That's what I've been saying this whole
That's
time.
really
I've been saying
not.
that.
It's really not.
I've
A
been
Sunny
saying
Boy
exactly
and
that way.
Slurpee motherfucker!
And if you'd like to hear this episode uncut and unedited
And why wouldn't you?
and enjoy our spontaneous side projects, go to patreon.com/therapy. And thank you for supporting mental health.
That's all the time we got for this week's session. Want to thank our landlords, Matt Mattingly's Ice Cream Social Podcast. Thanks to those of you who contributed to our show today. We appreciated it. Remember, Pod Therapy isn't something to keep all to yourself. Share the episode. Tag us on the socials when you do. It's at PodTherapyGuys on Instagram and Twitter, /PodTherapy on Facebook. And don't forget about all those extra goodies at patreon.com/therapy.
If you want to submit a question to the show, ask anonymously at podtherapy.net or email us at podtherapyguys@gmail.com. I'm Nick Tangeman.
I'm Jim Jobin.
I'm Whitney.
Yeah! Thanks. We'll see you for your appointment next week.
It's pretty good. I like how she's just Madonna, like no last name. It's
I
just
know, I
Whitney.
like that.
I don't know. Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
thought
good.
about using it, but no. I
No,
think
you're
it's
better
just
off
Whitney
without
now.
it. If I could just delete
Yeah.
anybody ever knowing my last name on the show, that would be a good choice. Yeah,
I'm just sad you didn't stick with Mercedes.
I thought about that today.
Was
I
that
was
the
like,
name? Was
I
that
don't know. It was
Mercedes?
one of them.
I think it was
I know,
Cinnamon.
I was like, I wish I could remember any of those.
It was a
names.
list.
Bye.
Bye.